Da da da. What's going on, Authentic Collective? So, needless to say, I am happy to be with you all. Things are looking really good. We're ramping stuff up. Before I get into today's video topic, which I'm talking about things not being as bad as you say they are, but give me a second because I'm not saying that you're not going through anything. Let me just also remind people if you happen to be looking at this video, this is in the general area, kind of like Facebook. You can have a membership on Facebook, so you're inside of the Authentic Collective. However, for those of you that have signed up for the No More Trauma Summit, then that is something that you access through learning tools. You go through there so that you can get yourself set up and get ready for the summit that does not kick off until December 7th. But I'm telling you guys, you want to be in position so that you're ready to go once we pull the trigger. So, anywho, I really wanted to bring something to you guys that I feel is extremely important. And I just got through dealing with this. I've had some really intense phone calls today. And so I got off of one call and then another call and then a third call. And I'm like, something is truly in the atmosphere. And so the reason why I called this video, what's really going on, don't exaggerate your problems, is because I was having a conversation. And so I asked the one lady, I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's bothering you? What's at the forefront of her mind? And the first thing she said, she's like, oh, well, my sister such and such has got COVID. And then I found out that her mom and dad does, and so on and so forth. Now, what a lot of you all don't realize is that you're drama queens. I'm sorry, you do not want to hear this, but that's what you do. And so before she could go any further, I was like, okay, hold up. Who's hospitalized? Nobody. So how are they feeling? Well, they're having regular symptoms like they would if they had a cold or flu. Everybody has it except for like her 7-year-old nephew or something like that. And I said, okay, so number one, how about we not have it at the forefront of our mind? She's not realizing that there's a high level of fear because of the way that COVID is put in the media. I'm not saying that some people haven't died from it. I'm not saying that it isn't, that it isn't more serious for other people. But at the end of the day, we do all know that there are some situations where it's been exaggerated or the truth has not come out. But at the end of the day, we can't worry about any of those things, right? You have to worry about what you're dealing with. So I'm like, okay, so you got some stress on your mind. I said, so really what you just did when I asked you what's going on and what's bothering you, your brain did one or two things. Let me word vomit out what's the first thing that comes on my mind. And like I said, if there was something you were worried about, you need to push that down and let me push that to the side because there's nothing to worry about. They're recovering nicely. Everything is good. Or number two, so your subconscious is like, ooh, I don't want to answer that question because I know August. And if I say that this is what's bothering me, then she's going to go, why, how, what, when, where, why, and take me down a rabbit hole that I just don't have the energy to go through. I just want to be down and out. I just want to be sad. I just want to be mad. I just want to stay angry and so on and so forth. And so I said, so which one is it? Is it the fact that you were just telling me something? Or you are evading telling me what's really going on. And so, as we continue to have a conversation and talk about what was going on in her business, she didn't collect. My clients know to capitalize on the holidays. My clients and my former clients know that they should have offers going all the way through the holidays. I don't care what anybody else says because people spend money during the holidays and yes, even during COVID. And I want you all to take a business nugget from this for the simple fact that guess what? I think it's really jacked up that these shelves in these stores have been half empty ever since COVID hit. COVID hitting didn't stop the backlog of stuff that was manufactured that was supposed to be shipped. Now, all of a sudden, that Christmas is around the corner, the government realized that y'all train behinds are going to take y'all tails to the store, even though the unemployment is at an all-time high, even though COVID is running rampant, you guys are still going to stick to your typical MO. And when I say empty shells, you all need to understand I'm a creative. So if I went down the aisle and I wanted to get some beads or get some yarn or, get something to sew, I couldn't do that because there's no sewing machines. There's only a couple of things to thread. There were no needles. But now everything's full to capacity. Why? So people can shop for the holidays. And so, like I teach my clients, I don't care what's going on in the world. If you still have a business and it's open, you need to put your stuff out there. But like I was telling her, if you BS'd around and you ain't got no Black Friday special and you didn't capitalize on making as much money as you could have this time, then be like, hey, I got this 2021 special because we made it. At the end of the day, there's not 100% ironclad rules. So the stress and the pressure that she was feeling about her business not being as productive as it could have been in the past. The point is, it's not like her business is gonna go. She's not about to lose it. She's not all the way down to the dump. So once again, what's really going on? I want you guys to ask yourselves what's really going on and what else is also true. So don't exaggerate your problems, because exaggerating your problems is what's putting you all in a position where you are frantic and afraid, and you got more pressure on you than you're willing to admit. Okay. The third area where she had too much pressure is her children. Now, I'm going to say some really ugly stuff. And some of you all who live in the wonderful land of mommyhood are going to be like, August, no, you didn't. But I do know, because I have been this woman where I have said to my husband, I have cried to him and I told him, I don't want to be a mother anymore. Oh my God. You don't say stuff like that, August. Definitely don't say that to a woman who's had 4 or 5 miscarriages. Have you guys ever really thought about how you have censored your innermost thoughts because somebody's going to tell you it's inappropriate or it's insensitive to somebody else? But what about the fact that it's really your story? But I dealt with stuff with my 25-year-old, with my 15-year-old, with my 2 youngest children, and everybody doesn't have the same story. But no matter how much I've given, this is the one position in my life that has not rewarded me very well. Seriously, I can have down days in my business, but shoot, I had enough money made in my business where it's like, okay, it's worth pushing. All of us don't have the same story to tell. And there's some people out there that have been shitty. They have sold their kids off for crack. They have left them to their own. And their kids are like, oh my God, mommy, I just love you with every fiber of your being. You have people like me who thought we were going to right the wrongs, the things that happened in my childhood. I'm not going to dare be that kind of mother. I'm going to be a better mother. I'm going to be this kind of mom. And I'm not going to yell and do this. And I'm going to do this. And when you get through, your kids are unappreciative, ungrateful, want the daddy that ain't never been in their life. This is my story. I'm not telling y'all story. I'm sorry. I'm telling mine. And so I have let it come off of my mouth that I quit. I just don't want to do this anymore. And then I cry, right? And why do I cry? Because in my own conscience, you shouldn't say something like that. Kids are a gift from God. And isn't that's awful? August, where is that coming from? But like I said to her, but in the moment, what you feel in the moment, that is your truth. And why do you feel that way? How much of it can you control? And so we had this conversation about the wisest piece of advice I was ever given was a woman told me, she said, you can make a child, but you can't make their mind. You can make the child, but you can't make the mind. And so bottom line is we went through everything, we looked at everything, and it's like, you got this pressure on you, you're homeschooling the kids, you're dealing with COVID, your business is feeling this way, your city is changing because of the mandates that they're putting down. And so all of this pressure, that's why you got to have good friends who have a different vantage point to come to you and say, hold up, hold up. I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but this is also true. And so, like I was telling her, I was like, you know what? You're a homeschool mom. Give them a random 2-week vacation. Take that pressure off of you to have to teach them. Set parameters around them. Maybe they still have at least a daily reading assignment because they should read every day or whatever it is. But fall back. So a lot of times what's going on in our lives and this abnormal amount of pressure that we're feeling is because we're trying to live up to a standard, or with the other example that I gave, that we have allowed someone else to expose some things to us that have really added to that edge of fear. And we're not really just saying, okay, hold up. If I can just take 2 seconds and emotionally and do an emotionless evaluation. What in the world is really going on in my life? And then you will say, okay, you know what? These things right here, I don't have to do them. These things I don't have to do at this standard. And at one point, and this specifically with the parenting part, she was like, well, I've done all of this stuff and all of this stuff as a mom. And, but what I don't want to do is just be the person that completely checks out. And I'm like, why is it that the only thing that you can see is the extreme of giving all you got to give or not giving anything at all? And we have a hard time not seeing all of the stuff that's in the middle that does not perfectly balance out, which is why I don't even like using the word balance too much, because you're going to be all in, but sometimes you're going to fall back some, and it's okay. And so, I just wanted to give that nugget wherever this brainstorm leads you to, whatever kind of comments you leave. If you leave some, will determine if I come back and respond to it. But where are you guys at? How are you feeling? Check in with me. Are you really stressing right now? Are you fighting to not be stressing? Is the way you're fighting not to stress by doing so much? Because she even told me, she's like, I just keep busy. And that's another form of a black woman's kryptonite. When you constantly stay busy, it's so that you don't have to face your demons. So you don't have to sit in your ish. So you don't have to process the pain. But at some point, you're going to have to realize that that's exactly what you need to do. So that's my 2 cents for you all today. I will respond accordingly, contingent upon how you all respond. For those of you that are in this community but have not signed up for the No More Trauma Summit yet, go to my website and go to the Worthy tab and get signed up for the No More Trauma Summit, because with this woman, I did also have to show her how some of her previous trauma had caused her to develop certain habits. And that's why she believed she needed to perform in a specific way. And I'm like, it's time for us to heal that ish. So I love you all. I'm going to get out of here and I'll talk to you later. Deuces.